I want to be the Melbourne Cup. I are the first Tuesday in November. I is the race that stops I am the nation. I am Farley. I am
G'day, another edition of Personal Best.
It's now 3.5 weeks until the 2020 Melbourne Cup, hence the launch of this program, Staying the Distance, where I give you the latest news on all that's important surrounding this year's Melbourne Cup. On today's program, we take a look at the current order of entry. We compare it to the order of entry last year. We'll also take a look at the odds being offered by various online bookies, and we'll delve into the world of exotic betting with a focus on big money prize pools. We'll get stuck into the order of entry without wasting any time. On screen is the most recent order of entry. It was published on 6th of October, prior to yesterday's races, the Herbert Power and the Caulfield Stakes. I would expect it to be updated tomorrow, Monday the 12th of October, or there's a possibility that Racing Victoria will wait until after the Coogee on Wednesday the 14th of October. Anyway, the purpose of showing this is for those that have put an early bet on the Cup, or if you're connected to one of this year's nominated runners. Any runner inside the top 24 now will get a start in the Cup if they want. The other thing to remember is the attrition rate though, where horses are taken out of the race by owners or trainers due to injury or the realisation that their horse will not be competitive. Something that is also worth remembering is the schedule of acceptance fees which owners have to pay if they want to have their horse run in the Melbourne Cup. Ordinary races don't require this, but it is something that also contributes to the attrition rate, as few people like giving up money if there is no chance of seeing a return for their investment. Here is the order of entry from the same time last year. The horses with their names underlined are those that actually ran in the Cup. Those in green are the ones that were outside the top 24 at this stage last year, but still got a run in the Cup. Most important in this list are Bosk and Sound, as both did nothing impressive between the publishing of that order of entry and the Melbourne Cup. Bosk, at 35 in the order of entry, raced in the Geelong Cup and finished 9th, and Sound raced in the Caulfield Cup for a 10th place finish, yet both made it into the field. Take note of the Chosen One at the bottom of this list. He was outside the top 65 at this time last year, but his win in the Herbert Power thrust him up to number 37 in the order of entry at the date of its next publishing on the 14th of October last year. Mare de Glace, the other horse down the bottom there, he won one of the ballot exemption races, that being the Caulfield Cup. There are just 3 remaining at this point in 2020, that is the Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate and the Hotham Stakes on the Saturday before the Melbourne Cup. Win one of those races, and if you want to, you can go straight into the Melbourne Cup. On screen now is the current order of entry, and you can see the horses around that mark, 34, 35, Nickerjack Cave and Master of Wine. They may be able to sneak into the Melbourne Cup this year without doing anything special, just like Sound and Bosk did last year. Chapada down at 58. I would expect he will zoom up the order of entry to around about 37, just like the Chosen One did last year, maybe even higher. Time to look at some of the Melbourne Cup odds. Tiger Moth is now the favourite with all online bookies. He's around about $7, and Surprise Baby and Rush and Camelot both figure at around about $9 in all markets that I've done research on. Bet365 only wants to offer $17 for Anthony Van Dyke, while others are offering $19 and $21. The Tab and Bet365 only want to offer $26 for Ocean X, while Ladbrokes and Sportsbet are happy to give away up to $41. Meanwhile, Chapada is $101 at Bet365, and in other markets he's all over the place. I've seen $51, I've seen $34. You can get some value, but of course the horse still has to win. Okay, I said at the start of the show we would look at exotic betting. For those new to the racing game, exotic betting is just referring to the complicated but more rewarding betting format of quinellas, trifectas, first fours and so on. A lot of people are turned off by trifectas and first fours by the difficulty of picking the precise finishing order of the first three or first four, but that difficulty can be alleviated by boxing or standing out runners. As you can see, boxing runners and standing out runners will cost you more, but it increases the likelihood of success. Now, I don't take trifectas or first fours every day, but it's during the spring major race meetings like the Caulfield Cup, the Everest, the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup in particular, that prize pools for exotic bets are astronomical. Take a look at some prize pools and the actual dividends from these big races over the last 12 months. Here's a look at the Caulfield Cup. That was 6,133 for the first four and 1,046 for the trifecta. The Everest, which the pool is the only pool which can go close to the Melbourne Cup, a nice handy 14,000 odd for the first four. In the Cox Plate, the first four dividend was 1,147 in 2019. And we get to the Melbourne Cup of 2019 and the first four dividend was a lowly 67,799. Back in 2012, when Green Moon won the Melbourne Cup, the first four dividend was a massive 1.4 million. Worth having a crack at, better than a lottery ticket, I think. Here's my own crack at a first four in yesterday's Herbert Power Stakes. I was hoping for just 50% of the dividend and I went pretty close. Had Chapada stood out and I just missed out on Zabrowski. He mixes up his form a bit, that one. And that's all for this edition of Staying the Distance. I hope I can find time to provide another one of these programs and I hope you can find time to watch another one. To finish off, here is a list of the feature races for the remainder of October. That's Stayers races. There's two Japanese races, the Shuka Show and the Kikuka Show, are actually the third leg of the Colts and Fillies Triple Crown over there. And at the moment, you've got Contrail and Daring Tact both looking to take out their respective Triple Crown titles.